So yeah, welcome everybody. This is probably going to come as a surprise to many of you. This is actually making it on the Twitch channel at all, or even onto the YouTube channel. Not because I have a deep-seated hatred for Hearts of Iron 4 or anything like that, but I wrote a whole blog post on my website kind of detailing some of the thoughts and feelings I had about this new Hearts of Iron 4 DLC. If you're interested in reading about that, go to the website, BundeswehrBob.com. So today, I have with me Mordred Viking.
Hello.
And he's going to share the misery with me, is what he's going to do. I drafted him into doing that. And we're going to be co-oping as the United States. And we have decided to play on Veteran, and we're going to be jacking up the strength on all the countries. And we're going for Democratic World Conquest? Is that what we said we're going to do?
I don't know. I mean, I meant more democratic that we just join the Allies and do this as a democracy, because there's two of us playing the same country, and USA is supposedly a democracy. Or we could do this as a legit just world conquest, kill everything.
Anyway, however it shakes out, I don't have no preconceptions about what it is we're going to be doing. I literally just hit up Mordred the other day. I was just, hey, want to do Hoi 4 co-op? He was like, sure. So this is where we are.
Pretty much.
So yeah.
Just realized I still have my intro music playing. There we go, it's paused. Good.
You're breaking up a little bit for me on Discord.
Probably because the game was loading.
Oh. That makes sense.
Is it better now?
National focus. So I know we have a lot of options being the United States right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them being 4.
I have never actually played the USA in this.
Oh, really?
No, not vanilla.
Okay, so the United States, I think, is probably perhaps one of the most railroaded major nations in the game.
Okay.
Specifically because a lot of the things that you get to do are all dependent on world tension. Or at least that's what my experience was prior to playing Waking the Tiger anyway, for what was the last one called? Death or Dishonor, and then Together for Victory.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it revolves around waiting for world tension to climb upwards. And you start as a democracy as well, which democracies can't just start willy-nilly declaring wars on people like you can if you're fascist or communist. So it's a little, you gotta wait for some stuff to happen. So there's a lot of, if you're just playing on your own, it'd be like a lot of Speed 5. You're just waiting for Germany to turn everything into shit or whatever, however the world tends to unfold. So I've typically gone down if you look at the right-hand side of the focus tree, it's reaffirmed the Monroe Doctrine. Okay. And that eventually gets you to the point to where you can attack Venezuela, because Venezuela is apparently a jerk in the Western Hemisphere, and we can do that. And lots of oil, even though we don't need oil. We can take it, though. It could be ours.
We can just have a global monopoly on oil.
It could be ours. So that's my suggestion, is reaffirm the Monroe Doctrine is the first thing we do.
Well, I think we just decide what our goal's going to be. Seize the world's oil supply.
Well, Saudi Arabia, here we come. Actually, no, that's not really developed yet, though.
Caucasus.
Resource map mode. So, Soviet Union, then.
Yeah, Caucasus in the Soviets. And Iran, Iraq.
What about the world's rubber supply?
So Malaysia.
So, yeah.
Sure. Anything you can build as synthetic refineries, we are going to take.
That's right. Well, I still say reaffirming the Monroe Doctrines is a good way to go.
I will bow to your superior knowledge on that one.
Yes, my superior USA knowledge. Look at that, guys. I'm subjugating the Europeans already.
Oh! I didn't realize there was a motive to that.
Oh, looks like there's some custom art actually added for the tech tree here for the United States. I don't know when this happened, but it happened. Yeah, M1 Thompson, M2 Carbine. That's pretty cool. I can dig that.
Oh, those have always been there.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh.
All of the majors have their own artwork for weapons and things, and tanks as well.
Well, how are we doing for naval ships here? We've already got aircraft carriers figured out.
The Ranger class. Interesting.
That's right.
Brooklyn light cruisers.
Me personally, I've always been a fan of heavy cruiser and destroyer fleets because they're really quickly to pump out.
I never build destroyers because I think they're terrible. I usually go for light cruisers and battle cruisers.
Really?
Yeah.
So I always thought that the destroyers are, while they're expendable, they do a lot. They're a screening vessel.
Yeah,
they pretty much block, all the shit from happening to the heavy cruisers, which provide the firepower. That's always been my thought on it.
And my thought's always been cruisers are so quick that they'll just get out of danger anyway.
The light cruisers?
Yeah, light cruisers, they're extremely fast. They're not as fast as heavy cruisers, but they are very quick. Actually, just double check that. So the light cruiser is a speed of 30, the heavy cruiser is 36. Compared to the destroyer. No, that was a destroyer.
Now, are you also a fan of the spamming nothing but naval bombers on carriers?
I usually mix a couple of fighters in there, but I couldn't say what the ratio really is because I rarely use carriers.
Well, do the fighters have a big impact on when naval forces clash with each other?
Well, you'll certainly kill enemy naval bombers, so they do less bombing. And bombers can be pretty effective, and I think I read somewhere that in this patch, naval bombers have been, like, upgraded. The only thing which I know is completely useless and remains completely useless are submarines.
Give me 1 second, I'm trying to fix you on Discord.
Oh, sorry.
You keep popping in and out. Okay, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. Well, air doctrine. How are we doing naval doctrine? Base strike. Artillery. Armor. I'm not really like a huge armor player when it comes to a lot of this. Like, I'll have like a small division of tanks and they'll like punch through stuff, but otherwise I'm like an infantry commander a lot of the time.
I tend to use infantry and heavy tanks. That's my go-to.
Heavy tanks. Like that's the template where you just have the infantry and heavy tanks and they just kind of roll over everything.
Yeah, the heavy tanks are in the infantry template because it gives them the extra armor, so they die a lot less. But I usually play nations with not as much manpower, so it's probably less of a problem for the US.
Yeah. Okay, well, first thing, I think, for civilian factories, how are we set here?
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at too. Bearing in mind that in Waking the Tiger, expanding infrastructure in places with resources now increases the resource output too. As well as increasing the speed of factories being built. So infrastructure is amazing, in other words.
Well, you know what I think I'm a fan of? I think I'm a fan of letting Europe burn first.
Okay.
Let it burn down to the ground for whoever is going to be taking it over. Because I'd rather face one army than, one or two armies rather than like 5.
Reasonable. Plus
and then
they'll
we can
have
puppet people as we go along.
Plus they'll have depleted each other because AI is going to AI.
Yeah. Of course, I'm still in Supreme Ruler mode, but I was thinking we could develop the West Coast and then just take over the Asian sphere, but it doesn't really matter where we build stuff because you can just start building a destroyer anywhere. If your naval dockyard is located on the East Coast, it'll pop up on the West Coast if you want it to. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but as far as research goes, you want to go down the heavy tank tree then just immediately and just say fuck light tanks?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to pop in the T1 heavy tank immediately.
Okay.
Then the usual things that I go with are the, mechanical engineering, the industry stuff, popping like all that in there is what I typically do.
I think I'm going to build some infrastructure in Ohio because it's going to give us aluminium, it's going to give us steel, and also there's a couple of build things that haven't been built there yet.
Do it.
And then we can get civilian factories in there when it's a level 10, they'll just build like super rapid. And then once we go into mobilization of some kind, then we can switch to military factory production, just pump them out like there's no tomorrow. In fact, how many... Oh, yeah, we have loads of civilian factories. Alright, so we've got Ohio going. Where else do we want to build? Pennsylvania would increase...
Well, we want to have a large naval presence, so anywhere we got oil or steel would be good to... I mean, what are we missing right now? We're missing rubber.
We could go synthetic. Also, Waking the Tiger has changed synthetic refineries, so you can boost their rubber production and or their oil production. It's individual now. In the technologies, the extraction techs. And as to where to build, Pennsylvania potentially. Loads of steel there. It's a big province, so it'll have lots of factories.
No, just leave Pennsylvania alone. We don't need to visit with Pennsylvania.
I did wonder what your reaction to that would be.
It's a desolate place that no one needs to go to, so...
In that case, Texas? I thought we don't really need oil. Um,
I mean, if we're gonna have a large light cruiser fleet, then that'd be the way to go. And then we're also gonna need chromium at some point too, because I think the heavy tanks take a lot of chromium to build.
so do capital ships, yeah. So do we have anywhere that produces chromium, or are we just going to be importing that from South Africa and Turkey?
Well, there is no synthetic chromium, unfortunately. So.
No. And it doesn't look like we produce it natively either. Oh, no we do. We have one province that produces one chromium, and that's Idaho. But it has almost no factory capacity. It does have a lot of tungsten, though, which is another thing we are... Actually, no, we have a load of tungsten in Utah.
Well, I think Idaho is going to get the United States' first 8-lane highways then.
Alright, Idaho it is.
Oh man, this is some old-timey music I got playing here.
Alright, then let's queue up one more place. I would probably say California, because we get oil, we get aluminium, and it's also lots of factory capacity.
Now, what do we have as far as research divisions go here? Infantry. Yo, dog, I heard you like foot soldiers.
Infantry, artillery. It's not a bad template, actually, for a start. Combat width 18. National Guard, 24. Blimey, those are big. How are the National Guard divisions bigger than the regular infantry?
You're asking the wrong guy.
That's bizarre, but cool.
I'm a YouTuber, not a general. All of you, same army. Then who do we got for soldiers? Or not soldiers, but generals.
Are we going to train all the things except for the guys that are already trained?
Well, I'm not really seeing a huge need to keep everybody like out in all the little islands and shit. You know, I think we should just bring them all back and train them up for our eventual invasion of Venezuela. I mean, liberation of Venezuela.
Go for it. I just split out the 3 guys who are already regulars. Everyone else can be trained. So we're not wasting equipment.
I'm gonna put Mark Clark in charge of this this group here, and we're gonna need to pull some more out. But I like this idea of having him be reckless and be there.
Sure. Who are the other options? Just out of interest. Patton, Bradley, Hodges. Those are the field marshals, are they? No, those are generals. We have 2 field marshals, MacArthur and Eisenhower, who have a ridiculous number of traits. Blimey.
So it's Eisenhower and MacArthur. I'm cool with just splitting up so that MacArthur's in charge of the Pacific and then Eisenhower's in charge of the Atlantic.
That works for me. Because
Eisenhower's
are planning
so technically, we're going to be in the Atlantic first with Venezuela.
Yeah, it's fine.
Those 3 there.
Military factories. Oh, you've already signed them. More guns.
More guns. More.
Do we really want to make the
infrastructure at first, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got the isolationism thing right now. Where is it? Great Depression, home of the free. Oh, do we not have it anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Undisturbed isolationism. So that goes away as soon as we can get. Well, we have to spend points on it, but we can. Or no, there should be a focus that actually gets rid of it. But we have to have more than 50% war support in order for that to work, though. So we got a little ways to go. And we got low manpower, so I'm totally cool with not training any more new divisions at the moment.
Works for me.
I'm gonna bump this up to speed 4 since we're just waiting for stuff right now.
Pretty much. Do we really want to produce ancient carrier fighters, or do we want to reassign that factory?
I'm not feeling a need to really produce any carrier fighters whatsoever.
All right, let's cancel that one then.
Until we get a new model, which I mean we're gonna have to research the P-40 Warhawk. I think is the next thing in line. Let's see here. Yeah, P-40 Warhawk.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe with the Cobra, which I mean, I haven't run into myself personally. I haven't seen either a lot of like air combat that's focused on carrier combat. That didn't just
There's another option here, actually. If you don't want to build fighters on the carriers, then you should definitely go for light cruisers, because they have the best anti-air.
Well, shit, there we go.
They'll be shooting down the enemy aircraft while our own aircraft...
Then I think we should just build a shit ton of naval bombers, then. Carrier naval bombers.
Alright, so carrier naval bombers, carriers, and light cruisers.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I did change our production line to be just light cruisers for our naval production. That's all coming out of California right now.
Alright.
All of it. Every single one of them.
And they're tier 2s already. Nice.
There. And that battle group can get... Take him. Now, some of these guys I think are ready to level up, too. Got... Like, Eisenhower's ready to level up, so what can he get? So we could give Eisenhower... So he's got... Do you know... You play with the character cards, right?
Yeah.
So we can give him Fast Planner, which is planning speed plus 10%. Thorough Planner, which is max planning 10%.
Max planning is amazing.
Yeah, I would agree. Now, there's also... Or did I not take? I guess not.
Division
There's
recovery
also
rate's not bad either.
The organization first or charismatic?
Charismatic.
Can we... Is it not taking or something?
It might be because I have it open too. I've closed it.
Oh. Well, you go ahead and just pick them then on that one. I just closed it.
Oh, okay. So which one were we going for?
Charismatic.
Not thorough planner.
Then... Well, I think the recovery rate's better.
Okay. So recovery rate...
That aids on the offense and defense.
This is true. Okay, charismatic.
Whereas we don't have the command power, that's why we can't assign anything.
Yeah, you're right. It's like clicking it. It's like, why is this not working?
Hey, we've reaffirmed the Monroe Doctrine, told everyone that the Western Hemisphere is ours.
Nice. So which one next?
Ideology drift defense. The neighbors. I've chosen the neighbors because we're very neighborly as the United States. We're gonna build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. Everybody.
These all good political power too. Nice. So, are there any decisions that we need to worry about?
Well, we don't have anything currently here, and I haven't looked at all the decisions for the United States anyway. Is there anything that gives us chrome or chromium?
No, I was just looking at that.
We have aluminum, tungsten.
So what I'm reading from this is war against Turkey or war against South Africa. That's where all the chromium comes from.
Turkey and South Africa. Well, South Africa is going to be far more accessible than Turkey is. But Turkey stands alone.
Yeah. We'd have to go after the UK if we went after South Africa.
And Turkey actually gets us in that precious into the Caucasus.
This is true. Got to get that oil.
Hey, Turkey.
So I assume we need to get war propaganda.
Oh, there's like an Operation Paperclip decision in here. Give refuge to German scientists.
And Italian ones. Spanish Civil War. Can we intervene? No, we're democratic.
I don't... Yeah, we can't send volunteers or anything. Though historically, there were Americans that went and fought over there.
Electronic mechanical engineering's done.
No, I usually go straight for mechanical computing since there's no research malice for it at all, and it increases our research time.
Do it.
Or reduces it, rather, so...
I concur with this decision.
That's my thing.
Yeah, it's exactly what I do,
right,
too.
you better concur with it. Or I'll assassinate you.
Oi! Not if I assassinate you first. Ha!
Oh dear, it's all like Donkey Kong.
Just you wait until I bring in my secret Canadian allies.
Secret Canadian allies. They'll bring that socialized healthcare with them, and then you'll rue the day.
Just wait until you fall ill. Then I'll have you.
That's right. Well, I'm gonna gather... Oh, red alert.
Oh, what? What?
I have a soundboard on my my Twitch.
Ah.
And you accrue Deutschmarks, and you get a Deutschmark for every 5 minutes you watch a stream. You can spend those on the soundboard, and then also I'm going to be doing some giveaways in the future. I'm waiting for a large enough base of people to have Deutschmarks available before I start doing that. So, was that my new fleet I started building? Yes, it was. Click on every button but the production one, Bob. Good job. I'm gonna sort all the submarines. Select you. Yeah, let's go over here.
Everything still is limited by world tension. I was wondering if they're using the war support option more, but they're not really. Because there are several decisions which increase war support, so I was thinking, oh, could that be a way around it? No.
Now, is there anything in particular you want to do with Task Force Purple?
Which one's that?
Courtney Hodges. He's the second general under the field marshal.
No, I'm just splitting them out so that Hodges' units are already trained up, the other two are not, so I'm just training them to trained, and then I was going to merge them again.
Aha! Everyone else gets scrubs but Hodges. Okay, now who do we got for commanders here? Do we have any Sea Wolves? We don't, do we? The neighbors.
Remilitarization Rhineland.
Remilitarization Rhineland. Never would have seen that one coming.
Are we playing on Historic?
Actually, you might. No, I never play with Historicon.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Central America. I'm pretty much just going to knock out that right side of the tree first, is what I'm going to do.
Go for it.
Decisions are available. I'm going to pause it real quick while we have decisions here available.
Okay.
Well, we have the political power to do it because we're in a deficit all the time as the United States, and we'll lose those points. So let's see here. Oh, you know what we could do is we could give refuge to German scientists right now and reduce our research time by 3%, but we lose 5 stability in the process.
I would say that's a good option.
Because we're 89% right now. Institute press censorship would be a cool one if we had the points. Because, you know, that democratic press censorship, you know.
The other one that's fairly decent is improved working conditions, although we don't need it yet. But that's a better one to do early on when you don't care about factory output.
So you want to give refuge to scientists first?
Yeah, because that will knock down the stability, then we can use the improved working conditions to build it up again.
That's right.
Yeah, planning. Oh, stability gives you more political power. Makes sense.
And I don't think we're in danger of any sort of bombing at all.
No.
But there's still like some production efficiency bonuses that you don't get between concentrated industry and dispersed industry.
But concentrated industry is just raw output.
It is, and that's why I typically lean towards that, no matter what, practically.
Yeah, I basically always go concentrated. There's one or two nations, like I think Austria in Kaiserreich, where I'll go dispersed just because I have increased efficiency caps anyway. So you kind of want that retention because you rely on efficiency rather than just the output, but otherwise concentrated all the way. What faction will we join? Democrats, communists, or fascists? We were talking Democrats, right? Join the Allies?
We're the United States Joint Mordred Bob Party.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's us.
The two-leader, one-party state system.
You know, just like in real life. Oh, take that, America! I'm choking jabs at you.
Oh.
What are you gonna do about it?
Right where it hurts. The political bits.
They're so dangly and so sensitive. What are the size of our, not political dangly bits, but what are the size of our ports right now? That's a 6. That's a 1. 2. Actually, we could do construction, and then I could just go naval base, and it'll tell me. So 8 up there near Massachusetts. There's a 10 there in Norfolk already, so we don't need to put anything over there. What about the West Coast?
West Coast
Only in
has-
San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego and Norfolk are the main bases.
Well, I'm going to queue up... Well, Hawaii's already got one, too.
I mean, otherwise, more infrastructure until we get the mobilization up to a point where building
Yes,
factories makes sense.
8-lane highways for everybody.
Yeah. Where next? I know you hate it, but I'm going to say Pennsylvania again, because it's a huge province with loads of steel.
Yeah, but we don't care about Pennsylvania.
So the entire United States, by the end of this game, is going to be 10 out of 10 infrastructure, except for Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania doesn't deserve it.
We're actually going to strip Pennsylvania's infrastructure to build everyone else's.
That's right. Oh, Italy won their war. Well, what are they at right now? They're infrastructure 8 out of 10. I mean, that's fine. We're going to need a lot of steel anyway. For those that don't get the joke with Pennsylvania, I just moved out of Pittsburgh, and I hate Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was not a cool place to be.
Otherwise, Illinois. It's a big province, though not any resources.
Are we growing corn there or something? What are we doing with it?
I'm just looking at like raw industrial potential. Places with the most factories will mean that we build the most factories there eventually, because of the way that building more factories works. That made no sense.
That made very sense.
So states have a maximum number of factories that they can maintain. The ones with the more base limit improve more from the technologies, which increases the number of factories you can support by a percentage. So you generally want to build your infrastructure in the places with the most potential factories. So Illinois
Texas,
being a 12 out of 12.
Ohio, Michigan.
Yeah, Texas is a good one just because of the sheer amount of silly resources you get from it.
The Lone Star State.
Yeah, let's go for Texas.
I'm just going to keep on telling South America how cool it is that we're, it's all in America. Okay, and pause again so we don't lose more points so we can look at decisions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We could actually, we didn't really actually suffer that big of a stability hit. Like, it wasn't like -5. Or no, yes, it was.
Yeah, it was
-5. We can give refuge to Italian scientists now.
Yeah, I would say let's do it.
Yeah, take that, both of you. Yeah, I'm gonna do excavations and research, and then do you want to start doing that? Go down the synthetic oil tree.
Not sure we
Do
need.
we really need to.
No, I don't think we really need to. If we stay happy enough with the UK, then we can just keep on buying their rubber from Malaysia.
Yeah, don't really need to. Okay, well then we're in 36.
Doctrines?
I was actually thinking about getting some 1918 weapons and equipment started.
That would also work.
Or actually Marines. Marines would be a really good thing to have. I'm going to do Marines first.
Okay.
I need my Marines from our Pacific Theater.
Marines.
Which I did think it was kind of a neat decision to limit the number of quote-unquote special forces troops that you can have, which are the Mountaineers, the Marines, and then the Paratroopers.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good call.
That'd help if I had pause, too.
Don't worry, I'm just shifting troops around as they get trained.
How dare you?
I know. Outrageous.
So we've got Scrub Squad, and then there's the real troops.
Pretty much.
How are we doing on stuff anyway? So we're in the hole on all the infantry equipment. There's no guns in the U.S. Army right now.
That should recover pretty quickly, though, when we actually start, producing military stuff.
Right now, we can't even produce toaster.
I've heard the USA has a couple of factories in there somewhere. Well hidden, I know.
That sounds like fake news to me.
Maybe it is. So how do we get rid of the Great Depression?
That's through the focus tree. At least last time I played, it was all through the focus tree when world tension gets high enough and the quote-unquote sleeping giant wakes and stuff.
Oh, it's issue war bonds removes it, which requires 95% world tension. Good grief.
United States is a lot of a waiting game if you're doing the democracy route.
Yeah, apparently it is.
So, this is why, fascism, See, this is why Hitler was a good guy. You see, because he was able to rally Germany together, get him out of the Depression and stuff like that. And then, he kind of took a left turn, and then things were bad.
Things went horribly, horribly wrong.
No, Hitler was not a good guy. Don't emulate Hitler.
No.
For everyone in the chat listening. Don't be like Hitler. See here. Marines. Oh, what would be cool too is if we actually got just like a basic truck too. That might be a good idea.
Oh, you mean for motorized so we can get field hospitals and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, like all the important stuff. Then we've already got the Brooklyn class figured out, so we don't need to worry about cruiser tech for a while.